everybody, how y'all doing today? My name is Tay, and welcome back to my channel, Inspire Me, where I talk about current or relatable topics, all from a godly perspective. And today's topic is called, So You Forfeit Your Calling, Now You Jealous? Now, while I wanted to talk about this topic, probably like a few days ago, me and my love, we was reading about, the book of Samuel, first book of Samuel. We're going to also read the second book of Samuel, but, they was talking about Saul and, just the background of Saul, him reigning, and then David. So that's what I want to refer. And it made me think about this topic. So the go-to scripture before I get started is going to be the 1 Samuel, the 18th chapter, verse 6 through 9. And it reads, And it came to pass, as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing, to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played, and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, this is a double vision, y'all, bear with me. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? Now, just to give a backstory, if you're not familiar, David had defeated Goliath. Goliath was the giant. I think he was like 7 feet, but David defeated him. He was dead. So the women, they came out to sing and rejoice, like a festival. You feel me? They came out to sing and rejoice, and they were just pretty much singing David killed his 10,000. He killed 10,000 people, and Saul, he only killed 1,000. Now, instead of Saul not taking it to heart, it's not such a big deal, Saul was wroth. You feel me? Wroth means anger. You feel me? Angry. He was heated. You feel me? And it bothered him. You feel me? By the women saying that, it's like he was competing with David. You feel me? Because it's like, oh, they ascribe David 10,000, but me only 1,000. It's not such a big of a deal. You feel me? But it was a big of a deal with Saul because he was, I guess, secretly competing with David. You feel me? He was known as the king at the time. Or was he not? Yeah, I think he was still the king. Oh, no, he wasn't. He was king, but as you read a little earlier, you got to read the whole chapter, but Saul was the king, but he lost his kingdom because he was disobedient to God. You feel me? So God took away his throne, you feel me, and gave it to David. You feel me? So that's another reason why Saul was, hating on David or, displeased with David, because he was king at first, and now David is king. But that's why the title is, So You Forfeit Your Calling, Now You're Jealous. God called Saul to be king first, before David, God called Saul to be king. He anointed Saul, you feel me? This before he even anointed David. And the reason why God took Saul's place from being a king, because Saul was disobedient. The first thing he did, I think, he burnt off sacrifices or something he did, I forgot. But like I said, you got to read all the chapters. The second thing, so God still spared him, you feel me? He was still king. The second thing he did, God told him to kill, I think, all the Amalekites or all the Philistines. I forgot what he said, but God told him to kill everybody. But Saul, he only killed majority. He saved the ones he wanted to save, like the King Agag. He said the best of oxen, the best of cattle. But God said to kill everything. You feel me? And by him being disobedient, God said obedience is better than sacrifice. And God took away his kingdom. He was no longer king. And then he gave it to David. So now you're jealous at David because he took your place as king. But when you was king, you didn't listen to God. You were disobedient. So now you jealous. The same thing I'm telling to y'all. If God calling y'all to do something, if you have a high position, whether it's king, whether it's a queen, whether it's a pastor, whether it's evangelist, whether it's just doing the channel, telling people about the goodness of God, you don't have no title, be obedient to what God tells you to do, even if it's the smallest thing, because God answers obedience, and then by you being disobedient, you can lose your rightful place with God. And then when he gives somebody else your title, or he raised somebody else up in your place, because one thing about it, if you don't do what God called you to do, he will raise somebody else up to do exactly what you don't do. You feel me? Also, too, that's another thing. I think if you read the book of Esther, when the king was married to I forgot what that lady name was, but he was married to her at first, and she didn't submit to him. She was not submissive to her husband, and she had like a bad attitude, and God allowed her to miss her place. You feel me? As being a queen. As being a queen, and he raised up Esther. But like I said, you got to read the book of Esther to get the whole concept or whatever. But yeah, when you don't do what God tell you to do, you will lose your rightful place, and God will raise up somebody else. So if God is calling you to do something, be obedient. You feel me? Because you have no, you don't have a right to be jealous of somebody else because you forfeited your calling. When God called you, and you didn't answer, or you disobeyed, you have no reason to be jealous of somebody else, because they're walking in their calling. You feel me? They're doing what you supposed to did. And also, you still have no right. Say, for instance, if God didn't call you to that calling, or say, for instance, if he did, but you're not disobedient, you've been walking in it, and somebody else might have a higher calling, or you might not feel that they deserve it, or whatever the case might be, you still have no reason to be jealous. You feel me? God made everybody equally and with their own gifts and talents. You feel me? What you might be good at, another person might be good at something else. So use your talent that God bless you with, to edify the church, and just walk in your calling. You don't have to hate on somebody else. Congratulate them. You feel me? It's just like with the parable of the 10 talents. What if the person that got the 10 talents, and the person that got the 5 talents said, "Oh, this person got 10 talents. They got more talents than me." So you don't see nowhere in the Bible where it says that he was satisfied with his 5 talents, and one of the 10 talents, he was satisfied with his 10 talents. So you can't be jealous of somebody else, that's walking in their calling, and you can't be jealous of someone because you forfeited your calling. You feel me? Like Saul was jealous of David, and he was jealous of him because they say he slew more men than him. You feel me? And then he was also jealous because he no longer was king. But David was obedient to God. You feel me? You don't see where God said defeat the Philistines, or defeat this and that, or defeat Goliath, and David said, "Oh God, I'm just gonna knock him down, but I ain't gonna kill him. Oh, he just too big, he just too strong." It don't say that nowhere in the Bible. You feel me? David was obedient to God the same way Saul should have been obedient to God, but he didn't, so he lost his place. So don't be jealous of other people in their calling. You feel me? That's all pretty much I had to say today. Make sure you like, also make sure you share, and make sure you comment and subscribe to my channel, y'all. And have a blessed day.